The Lagos Business School Alumni Association, through the EMBA Class 11, hosted the 2024 Alumni Day Conference, which discussed the theme, Navigating Disruptions, Harnessing AI for Business Success. It brought together business leaders, policymakers, experts, analysts, and entrepreneurs to explore how artificial intelligence will transform Nigeria's business landscape and the economy. The Dean of the Lagos Business School, Professor Ogbechie, in his opening remarks, shared the essence of the discourse on artificial intelligence.
Today, we gather not only to celebrate the enduring ties amongst us, but to enrich our collective understandings of the forces shaping business and society. This year's theme, Navigating Disruption, Harnessing AI for Business Success. The word AI is now scary to many business people, students, lecturers, even farmers talk of AI. We don't know what's going to happen, but at the end of today, we know if these fears are genuine or part of the conspiracy theory. LBS remains committed to empowering our alumni with the right insights and skills to lead in these transformative times. We believe that the application of AI, when aligned with human-centered values, holds remarkable potential for business and societal advancements.
In his virtual address, the Minister for Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, said that the proper application of artificial intelligence would unlock opportunities across the sectors of the economy and create more jobs in the country.
For us to be able to cultivate the hectares of land that will make a dent to the challenges that we have in such a sector, we must bring insight in. And this insight is the sort of thing that artificial intelligence can give us. When we take AI can help us truly understand how to change the way we cultivate our lands. AI can help us understand how to manage things like weather better. And when we understand how to manage weather better, we can have better ways of cultivating that will lead to better yields and outputs. And this is why we need to start to think of it really differently. Whatever sector you find yourself, whether you find yourself in the public health space, artificial intelligence is already disrupting how people do diagnosis of diseases, how you manage data sets that is coming into the medical space, and how that can help you to allocate your resources better. AI is already changing how we do public service delivery within government. Because if you take in the data set and the insights that comes from artificial intelligence, you can better appropriate and put your resources to good use. That's the kind of thing that artificial intelligence can do to us. AI can help strengthen the way we do banking. By better understanding your customers, you can serve them better, you can allocate your resources better when you invest in as well in financial services. So this cuts across all sectors, and this is the challenge that I've taken on as a minister. Recognizing that on the surface, many people will say, but we don't have electricity, but people are hungry. Why are you wasting your time focusing on artificial intelligence? It's about understanding that as a leader, whilst we focus on building things today that solves immediate problem, we must also ensure that we're building for the medium to long term. Because like I mentioned to you earlier, all of our problems and most of the problems that we struggle with on the African continent, in countries like Nigeria, are wicked problems. The solution to wicked problems will not come from taking the traditional way of solving these problems. The jobs that we want to create that are sustainable global jobs will not come if we focus on ways of doing things 15, 20 years ago. In our country today, the average age in Nigeria is 16.9. Right? The average age in Nigeria, we're about 250 million people. In Nigeria, we're giving birth to about 5 million additional kids every year. Our population is projected to get to 500,000 people by 2050. which is just in about 25 years or so away from now. The challenges in front of us is not just the challenges of today. We must take difficult decisions today that will position us for a better future. And when leaders are solving problems, we shouldn't only focus on solving for today, because the problems we think we're addressing today will only be masking over them. We will not be providing solutions that will ensure that in 5 years' time, when countries in the world, so if you go to Europe, for instance, their population is aging and they're not giving birth to kids. So they have a problem of workforce there. But how do we fill this global gap if we don't provide the right skill set for our people? If we don't encourage them to be part of modern technologies, they're not going to be a fit for the global world. And India is a fantastic example. We've seen what India has done in this space. India prioritized technology. India built institutions that were focused on training cutting-edge technologies. India actually put policies in place to encourage cutting-edge technology. And today, when you look at the top 10 technology companies in the world, a significant portion or number of those companies are now being managed by people from India or people of Indian descent. This is the sort of Nigeria that we can build. And this cannot be done alone by government. We will need folks to recognize that disruption is an opportunity for us all to build a future that we all seek.
Also, speaking virtually, the event's chairperson, Mr. Tony Elumelu, chairman of Heirs Holdings, stressed the need for Africa to take the lead in the era of digital transformation driven by technologies like AI.
AI is a vast field, and while it might be intimidating as it sounds, we must approach it with curiosity, exploring its possibilities, learning its intricacies, and seeking ways to implement it meaningfully. Let us master change rather than be mastered by it. Let us embrace change, not shy away from it. Let us be solution-oriented instead of being overwhelmed by what AI might replace. Think of what it might enable. I encourage you to leverage the opportunities in this conference for the exchange of ideas, learning from one another, and creating a roadmap that launches our businesses and, by extension, the economy of Nigeria forward. I am confident that soon, with all the contributions and all our resilience, Africa will be the continent we know it can be.
Giving his presentation on the economy, the chairman of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, Mr. Niyi Yusuf, called for the alignment of fiscal, monetary, trade, and social investment policies to foster inclusive growth.
We need more of policy stability and policy complementarity. Today, we need 4 policies to complement each other: monetary by the CBN, fiscal by finance, trade and investment, and social investment. Because the actions of the fiscal and the monetary are hurting, and they are necessary actions. And so you need the trade to support, you need social investment so that we can have a bit of cohesion. Today, we are not firing on all 4 cylinders as an economy, and that's why we have these gaps. Government needs to be more fiscally prudent and to manage its debt properly and to reduce the cost of governance. When Orosanye report was submitted, we had about 658 MDAs. So last year, we have over 890 MDAs. Even though we knew that report, we said we will implement that report, we said we will reduce the cost of governance, but we've ballooned from 600 to almost 900 MDAs. And every season, the National Assembly is creating more agencies. So we've got to really work on reducing the cost of governance. Price stability and inflation control is important, and the CBN is focused on this. But beyond the CBN, we also need to improve security, such that farmers can go to farm and we can have reduced prices of foods. We've got to have investment in infrastructure, transportation, digital infrastructure, energy infrastructure, and security. And security is not having 154 checkpoints between Uyo and Yola. Security is not having 62 checkpoints, as at 2 weeks ago. 62 checkpoints between Agbara and Seme. You can't drive export when you have such roadblocks. And each checkpoint, you are checking your wallet, right? We need to support SMEs. We need to drive job creation. Government also needs to strengthen our energy infrastructure. And it's a shame now that terrorists are now vandalizing and focusing on bringing down the transmission rig. So we've got to continue to invest in oil and gas to boost production, but also to stabilize the energy mix and the affordability for business. We've got to reform our institutions. We need to privatize more. We need asset fiscalization so that our dead assets, we can put them to good use.
The conference featured the launch of the Lagos Business School Insights Edge Guide for business leaders and a panel session on navigating disruptions, harnessing AI for business success. Dr. Owen Omogiafo and some of the panelists speak on how AI will shape the Nigerian business landscape and the economy.
Lagos Business School is in the forefront of looking at topical issues and developing competence that businesses and governments alike can use to lead and continue to thrive. So what we do is our Alumni Day is typically hosted by a class. And this year, EMBA 11, that's our executive MBA program, the class 11, they hosted it and they came up with the theme. And it's normally presented to the executive committee. And we looked at it and realized that indeed, it's something that we need to do. And imagine how excited I was when a few weeks ago I was in Saudi Arabia for the Future Investment Initiative and AI was what was being discussed. Even Elon Musk was there to talk about AI. And I felt so proud of my country and my school that here we are so advanced. We had already planned to talk about it. And as you can see from the conversations that went on, it's timely. And we need as a country to be prepared so that we have a voice on the table and we're not just being led by what's happening across the world.
We need to build local talent across the spectrum of AI, from using the AI to building the AIs to developing models and to creating the infrastructure. We need to build talent across board. The second thing that I think is most critical, because AI is about data and we need to keep data local. To do that, we need to build data centers. And that's really where we need public-private partnership to ensure that we can create the right data centers to support the AI revolution that is coming.
AI community, AI ecosystem need data to thrive. So I would like to call on government to release certain critical metadata, even if it's in the pseudo data form or metadata format, so that way people who want to do specific AI research will have data that are as true and as real as possible to come up with models and solutions that would actually work. That is one free gift that doesn't cost government so much money that government can give to innovators.
Artificial intelligence is set to bring disruptions to the global economy and key industries. A major takeaway from the 2024 LBS Alumni Conference Day is the need for investments in skills and enabling policy and regulatory framework, alongside effective data management to utilize AI for Nigeria and Africa's socio-economic transformation.